And if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is our faith. I've shared this story with many in different ways around the globe over 25 years. And for some, the story is so simple that they miss it. Please understand, the gospel is not complicated. It's powerful. It is unbelievably powerful. It'll change your life, not just for this life, but the life to come. But it's simple. Jesus did what we couldn't do, and He was raised from the dead to give us what we couldn't earn. It is so simple, sometimes people miss it. My prayer is, if you've struggled with this, that God would open your eyes today and you see the simplicity of it, yet experience the power of it. And it is so simple that I'm convinced even a child, not just a child, even a special needs child, can not only experience it, but also communicate it. I heard a story of a little boy named Timmy. His name was actually Timothy, but they called him Timmy. Little Timmy was in about the first grade. All children in the first grade I would consider to be special, but he was a little extra special. He had Down syndrome, and he didn't learn as quickly as others in most things. But little Timmy spoke a language that we all understand, and it is a language of love. If you were ever having a bad day, this was a little kid you wanted to come your way because he always had a hug. Whether it was hugging your leg or if he could convince you to bend over just far enough for him to get his arms around your neck, little Timmy was going to give you what we all need, and that is just to know that we're loved and accepted. It didn't matter what was going on in his world, he always felt love and wanted to give it away as much as possible. Little Timmy especially loved Jesus. His mom and dad worked very diligently from even before he was born to read the scripture to her tummy. So as he was growing, he would hear about the things of God. And then as he was born and would start growing, not fully understanding surely at that age, but in those formative years, as psychologist tells, the family would teach him the gospel story and teach him the gospel story and teach him about how God loved him and sent Jesus to do what he couldn't. And Jesus died to take his sin and was raised from the dead so he could be forgiven and experience real love and then give it to others. And somewhere in those early elementary years, Timmy somehow understood what some people miss because they complicate. It was the Thursday before Easter. They wouldn't have school on Friday, so the teacher said, let's do something fun tomorrow before we leave for the long Easter weekend. I want you all to bring one of those plastic Easter eggs, and I want you to find something that represents life. It is springtime. Things have already sprung, so why don't you get some of that stuff from your yard and put in and bring it, and we'll have a little show and tell. Whatever you put in there, though, when I open it and pull it out, I want you to tell how it represents life. And she would open one, and it would be grass, and somebody would say, my daddy just cut the grass, and it's really green because of all the rain, and it's growing, it's so pretty, it represents life. Somebody brought a flower. Somebody actually put a butterfly in it. Opened that thing, and the butterfly started flying around, and the kids in the class were, ooh, ah, some were trying to get it. Boy, little Timmy, he was just sitting there. He was just waiting on her to open his egg. Family didn't have a lot of money, and the egg was cracked, had some tape on it. Teacher had hidden it so a lot of them couldn't see that it didn't look like the rest of them. But she was going to open it at the end, but open it in a way that they couldn't see the broken side. Timmy was excited. He saw it getting down to 2 eggs, then to 1 egg. This is his egg. This is his moment. He can't wait to tell his story. And she opens it, and when she looks, there's nothing in it. So she closes it back and sets it over to the side and says, okay, we're going to move into spelling time. Let's go over to this station. And Timmy's like, no, you forgot my egg. You forgot my egg. And she said, it's okay, Timmy, we're just going to go ahead over to no, you forgot my egg. Please, open my egg, open my egg. And she kind of gets quiet, motions for him to come a little bit. And she says, Timmy, you didn't put anything in it. He said, I know, it's empty because the grave is empty. He's not there anymore. He's risen. He's risen. He's risen. If people could just get that.